Forgive me if either of you have been asked this or a version of this. Jaylen really goes on his hot streak when Alpi is out. I was wondering if that was more out of necessity, and in what ways or why do you feel that those two are a good complement for each other moving forward as you try to keep building and building and building?
One's a guard, one's a center, so that's nice. I think, one of the guys I've worked with for a long time has a saying that says somebody's got to score. So obviously, the more shots you get, the more you're going to score. And definitely in that sense, I think Jaylen benefited from getting additional shots. And I think Ime has spoken about this a couple of times. He had started playing really good basketball prior to Alperen's injury, and his scoring tailed off a little bit at the end, but he actually played some really good games towards the end of the season where he didn't score particularly well. And so, it's about putting yourself in a position for success. And I think he made some big steps kind of mid-season that set him up that way. And then fundamentally, I think great players can play with great players, and they're not positionally similar. But the challenge that exists for us, I do want to be clear, it's not Jaylen and Alperen. It's Jaylen and Alperen and Amen and Tari and Jabari and Cam and Dylan and Fred. Like, we're a team, and so everybody's got to figure out how to mesh. Well, Ime's got to figure out how to mesh everyone, but a lot of that's on them and the choices they make. And every team every year faces that challenge. And I actually think even for the teams that are together, and we've had teams that had a lot of similarity year over year, but every year is a fresh challenge, and every year somebody comes back and they added to their game, and how do you incorporate that? Or they want to do more, and how do you incorporate that? So, that's the challenge that's in front of us. And I think it's a good one. I think it's a great one to have all these talented young guys who are year over year getting better and having more potential. But yeah, we're cognizant that it is a challenge.
No, I was going to echo that. Obviously, Jaylen had more opportunity with Alperen being out, but they're not duplicates as players, and they have contrasting styles and what they bring to the table. And so, early on we really leaned on Fred, to get us into sets and to kind of initiate everything and wanted to get our turnovers down and all the things we tried to achieve this year. And Alpi being one of the top low post scorers, Jaylen wasn't going to have the same opportunities he's had in the past. And so sometimes it comes down to, making shots, and he was taking the right shots and learning and growing as the season went. And so with the ball in his hands, he goes on a hot streak from a scoring standpoint, and you're going to obviously ride that a little bit longer. And so to Rafael's point, he was really playing good before Alpi went down anyway. And so, looking forward to that combination kind of meshing next year with the more experience and understanding what we're looking for from both of them. And, it's funny, like they said that about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Can they, mesh together? And it's a lot of times it's the guys that every team would want. Everybody would want Jaylen and Alpi on their team. And I think it's a no-brainer that can work, and we'll see that going forward.